I guess a weird side note. You're not recording anything, right?
We are, yeah. Sorry. Just a quick retrospective discussion on the Scrum of Scrums this week. We had a DevOps consultant come in 2 weeks ago and talk with the directors and some of the managing directors and others who were invited. And one of his main feedbacks was that a lot of the disparate groups in OIT don't know what the others are doing. And one of the main tenets of DevOps is empathy. You need to be able to not only know what other teams are doing, but care, especially in the cases where our work affects their work and vice versa. So we need to be able to feel their pain, shared benefit, and that type of thing. So he highly recommended Scrum of Scrums, which basically is, if you're not familiar with the concept, a Scrum is he's specifically talking about a stand-up meeting that happens frequently where you stand up and you talk for a very short time, everyone involved with the project, on what you did since the last stand-up, what you're planning on doing till the next one, and any roadblocks you have. And then that's it. You don't go into any more detail, you don't do design discussions, you don't give feedback, it's just very quick information passing. So that when people are done with the meeting, they're either done or they have a next action and they need to talk with somebody and follow up, but then don't have to discuss. We tried that with app dev directors and product managers this last week.
The Scrum of Scrums.
A Scrum of Scrums with them, and that turned out quite well. The only thing we didn't do was stand up, but they actually wanted to go 3 minutes, which is longer than the canonical 2 for everybody, and at least 2 or 3 of the project managers, who were the only ones speaking in this particular Scrum, didn't finish in time, and they were surprised. You know, I got more stuff to say. Well, next time you need to cut it down. So that was the only feedback we got on that. It wasn't too focused yet, but it was the first try. So I'm not faulting anyone. I'm just saying that that's the thing you're going to find when you get into a Scrum. People are going to want to talk longer than they have. The next Scrum of Scrums we had was another roll-up Scrum with the directors in OIT. So all the directors in OIT have a directors meeting every Wednesday. So we had another Scrum of Scrums in there. That one we were very explicit about the 2-minute time rule, and everybody knew about that before they got in. So that was an explicit requirement. And I think it went very well. One person asked, what's the protocol to give feedback? And we're like, if you need to give feedback, you do it afterwards so that people can have the full 2 minutes that they need. And at the end of it, I didn't see a lot of feedback happening. So I don't know if it was necessary, but they could have been doing it, I didn't notice. And then Mike Brown mentioned that was the most informative 15 minutes I've ever had, or I've had in a long time. It's really useful information passing, especially when you're talking about teams that are separate. And I'm excited for it to go forward. Did you have any thoughts on that? It was mostly just, this is what happened. I think it's useful, and it'll probably still keep happening. So
what was it's really interesting with the 2 minute, what did a lot of people just focus on in their 2 minutes that made it really useful? It
was just really what they did, what they've been working on, what they're gonna work on, and any roadblocks. That was it. In my case, I had to talk really fast. So I wrote it all down, read it. I had to practice it beforehand to make sure I got it under 2 minutes.
That's awesome.
And then John Sutherland said, was that even English? I was talking so fast, So next time I got to cut down the content even more so that I can slow down, right? So that it makes sense to people. But yeah, I think that's a useful way to pass information. It keeps the discussion from going too long. And if it started to go too long, frankly, I think the meeting would lose benefit and people would just stop going. So just FYI, that's what we've been doing. I think it's useful.
Perfect.